Okay, it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Hello, yeah, YouTube friends. It's good to see everyone. Hello, Denise. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Carrie?
I'm doing well. We have a lot of sunshine here in Ohio. How are you doing in New Jersey?
It goes in and out. It was actually nice this morning. It's a little overcast now, but not dark. It's nice and not too sunny that you're seeing halos around me.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Perfect for being on YouTube.
Perfect for being on YouTube. Can I see your hair? What did you do to your hair?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me just say something. So
I love that. What
I
is
know,
that?
I know. Well, I'll tell you. So we have a
Okay.
very, very dear friend who passed the beginning of December, a very dear member of our community. You knew Judy very well. And
Yeah.
um, last Friday, they had a beautiful, beautiful memorial service for her at her favorite place, which was a boat club in Red Bank, New Jersey. And
Okay.
they had she always worked with fundraising, and one of her favorite was a lunch program that she raised awareness and funds for that fed children. And
Hmm.
so they had this beautiful woman, Kate, and she's called the Hair Fairy.
The
And
hair fairy. Okay.
yeah, and you could pay a certain amount, and actually it was all going to this fund, And so I got, look at that. Is that so
I
silly?
love it.
And so Kate is a lovely young woman, and she has been in my hometown up the street at a store multiple times over the years. And my friends call me and say, the hair furrier is here. But I could never make it. So I had to go down to Red Bank.
All the way down there.
Yeah.
This is far from where you live for
Yeah,
those
but it was a
listeners who
good
don't know.
cause, and it was a beautiful, beautiful event. And I was so happy to be there.
I
Yeah,
love it. All
beautiful.
right. That's
So
beautiful.
you
So
thought that was going to be short, but it wasn't.
it wasn't, but it was great. And check out the Hair Fairy if anyone's around there. There's a free plug for the Hair Fairy. But we're on What's the Takeaway? And I know those of you who came to the show today are probably interested in our topic. So let me just do a quick overview of the purpose of our show. And the purpose of our show is to give you permission to remove things from your life that are not serving you, because we feel that the largest epidemic, pandemic, contagion in the United States today is busyness. And our philosophy that my dear friend Denise coined is to do what?
We're going to bust the busy,
And
right?
why is that? And what is that? Why is that? Why are we busting
Oh,
the busy? What does that even mean? Don't you feel good when you say to someone, "Oh, I'm just so busy today"? I don't feel that good, but people apparently do.
I think they do feel, I think encompasses a lot of different things to people. But if you're busy, you must be doing well, right? You're busy.
Right.
So you're doing
Otherwise,
well.
you'd be sitting around doing nothing, I guess.
But I think busy's a not a word I want in my vocabulary. I catch myself all the time saying it because I'm not just busy. I'm just not doing things to fill my time, right? None of us are. We're very deliberate in what we do. We're very productive. And so take that word out of your vocabulary and
Yeah,
see
because
how people, respond to your answer then, right?
yeah,
Because everyone's
exactly.
waiting for busy. How are you? Oh, I'm so busy. No, take
Right.
it out.
Yeah, no, there should be no eye roll when people are asking you how you are, right? It should be like, I'm fabulous. I'm excited about what I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm in the thick of it. I'm
Yeah.
doing great work. I'm excited about my partnerships and no more busy. So we're busting the busy. So how do we actually do that? You get to take stuff out of your life. And that's something I think, especially women of a certain age, which we both are, right? Sometimes feel we don't have permission to do. So we're giving all of you, men and women of any age, permission to remove things that don't serve you. And then we take a topic and we drill down into 3 takeaways that you can remove from your life on this topic that will free you to actually enjoy that thing in your life or to be more successful with that thing in your life. And we've taken the month of May and we've kind of dedicated it to organization. Our first class was on organizing knowledge, which I thought was really interesting. I loved researching that topic. I love talking to you about your opinion. So go back and listen to that one. The second one that we did was last week, and we were working on for business people, how to really niche down into what you're doing so that you're a solution-based provider. You're not just a jack of all trades. So that was a really cool show. And today's show is one that I'm just gonna throw myself on the sword here, because this is one that's really, really hard for me. And that's asking or finding or incorporating help, right? I'm not good at it. I'm not even recovered, not good at it. I'm still in the trenches. This is not something I'm good at. So I'm looking forward to learning more about how I can do this. So how do you get the support that you need to increase workflow? And I think you could apply this to personal life too, but we're just, a little bit focused on business today. So Denise, do you want to go through what our 3 takeaways are?
Yeah, so right, sure. So these are takeaways in our business, right, to increase flow. Number 1 is take away the time and effort to send out individual emails, right? We're going to talk about making that just much more productive for you. Number 2 is take away the meetings that aren't maximized. It's super important. Again, we'll go into details about that. And then number 3 is really taking away what we think of as mundane tasks, right? That actually are super important to our business, but that we might not want to do ourselves. So those are the 3 takeaways that are going to make you a lot more productive. And we're going to talk about some support and ways to get support. We're going to talk about some systems for our businesses so that we will be more in flow.
Absolutely. All right. I just realized my name is wrong. So I'm going to correct that. This is what happens when you do something live. So there we go. Live, little technical glitch live. So how do we go from, I don't really understand this. So if I'm going to write an email to someone, don't I have to put like their name in the to section, or a block of emails in like a BCC? And then if I do a block of emails, I can't personalize it. So I have to write an individual email, and I don't understand. So share with me how I can work smarter, because clearly I spend hours and hours trying to communicate with people one-on-one.
Well, first of all, your emails aren't a personal letter.
Oh, okay.
So just think of that. You don't have to catch up with someone. You don't have to say, oh, the last time we talked, or how is your family? If you want to do that, and that person, you have that kind of relationship, pick up the phone, right?
Okay.
Maybe that's a text, but that's not an email, and that's not a business email.
Okay.
Right? So your business email, you sit down and you're looking at what group is this email going to? What's the objective? What are the directives? Like, what are you really trying to get across in this email? And if you can get it across in one, you should get it across in all. So you're crafting this email so that it speaks to all.
Okay, so give me an example of information that you like to transmit via email in a group, in some type of a group system.
Well, it could be as simple as an invitation to a meeting, or you're sharing a new product. But the point is that you want to craft it once and send it multiple times. Now,
how do I do that without like cut, paste,
No.
Look for the email? Like, what am I doing? Help me out.
Correct. And you're not going to want to say, hi, everyone. No.
Okay.
No one wants a hi, everyone email. I think we touched based on that a little while back, right?
Okay. Right.
They want something that's personalized. Now, in most of these systems, because you have their email address and it's something you've already loaded into a system, like I personally use something called Google Streak, right?
Okay.
It's a CRM built right into Gmail.
Okay, stop. I don't speak in letters. So what's a CRM?
That's a customer relationship management system.
Okay, customer, I get that. I have clients. Okay, relationship. So something I send has to improve our communication, right? Our relationship management. So that means I'm not doing all the work.
Well, yeah, it is actually making your life easier, and it's making it easier for the person too. Okay. So the person who receives it. So you can, within this system, you can create an automated pipeline. What's a pipeline? You're taking your email, the information you want to share with them, and you're actually sending it to the individual email addresses, right? Your contacts,
Okay.
your contacts, they're your emails. They're people who have given you permission to send them emails, but it's including the first name from each email.
So I'm not spamming people, right? Because I hear that term all the time. Like, I don't want spam or, alert, this is a spam phone call or a spam email. So what's the difference between spamming someone and maximizing communication or using a CRM?
So you're sending them to your email list, right? And all those people at one time or another has said, yes, I want to receive emails from you.
Okay.
Okay. And
So
listen,
if I just go around and I'm like writing down emails from wherever and they don't have my permission, I can't put them in a CRM, correct?
So you could put them in a prospecting part of your CRM. So CRMs can be broken down. You can have customers, you can have prospects, you can have we use it. We use this really so much, and it's so beneficial for people who already are customers. And so we send out something for their anniversary date. Right.
That's fun. Yeah, I like that. It is
fun. And it allows us to custom that. But you can also have a whole list of prospects who maybe have hit on something that you sent out as a lead generation. Maybe it was an ebook. Maybe it was just like the top 5 things to do, or the top 3 things to take away to make your more productive. Right. And so when they sign up for that, when they give you their email and their name, there's also a little box that says, I approve you sending me an email.
Okay. Right? So I'm going to ask a question. Could we ask our audience, if they give us their email, right, in the comment section here on YouTube, we could send them the 3 takeaways in writing so they don't have to take as many notes.
That's absolutely true.
All right. So do we want to invite them to do that?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So if you'd like to get the takeaways every week from our show, one of the things we can do is actually send them out to you on a weekly basis. So add your email to the comment section below, and we'd be happy to do that.
That's perfect. So let me wrap up what this CRM, this called Streak, does. It gives you a lot of flexibility. If you're in Google already, you can integrate all of their cool programs like Sheets or Chats or any of the programs that are in it. You can integrate in with this. But one of the best parts about this is that there are analytics that you can track. And it's really important to see, who's opening it, how long it took them to open it, because by this you can say, oh, you know what? Maybe it's the title. Maybe the subject is really not grabbing people. Let me try that and resend it. And you can test what's working and what's not, which is, I think, very beneficial. Right?
I do too. I think that's really good.
You can also schedule emails. So, you don't have to do it once. The one thing about this is you actually can only send 50 a day. I believe that's the number that are individualized individual texts that are personalized. That it's 50 a day. But maybe, which is
more than I could probably handle on my own anyway. So,
well, that's true. And we're going to talk about, a virtual assistant in a bit, and maybe they can handle it. So the other thing is this has a feature called snippets.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's very cool. So you can do surveys, and you can send surveys out to people through Google Streak. And the survey, like for our customers, is we wish them a happy anniversary, but we ask them, what oils aren't you using that you want to learn more about? Or do you want a 15 to 20 minute consult with me to talk about anything that's on your mind, any health challenge you're looking to hit, or any goal you're looking to hit with your health. Right. And so that comes back and it goes in something called snippets, and snippets are already pre-programmed responses. So maybe they wanted to learn something about pain and discomfort. Maybe they wanted to learn something about digestive health. Maybe they wanted to learn something about head tension. Whatever it is, we have a snippet in there that we can cut it and snip it in.
Snippet. Okay.
Snip it and send it out. And so this is really very, very productive for us. It's fast and it's good for the customer because they really understand.
Oops, Denise, you're muted. Yeah, so I think what she was trying to say is that, they really understand the flow, right? The information that you're trying to get across, and they have
Yeah.
a good way of organizing it. Hopefully they get those emails. And we did do a show on this, creating folders in your emails so they're not overwhelming. And we can actually teach our clients to do that right from the beginning, right? Like, welcome to doTERRA. I want you to take your email and create a folder. So every time we reach out to you with some snippets, right, or some information, go ahead and slide that email into the folder so you always have that information at the ready, right? And I like the other thing about email is I could go into my folder. This I do know how to do. And I can search on, like you said, head tension or stress or sleeplessness, something like that. And if somebody has sent me something on that topic, I find it right away.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. All right. Should we go on to the second one?
Yes.
All right. So the second one is about meetings. And I know the whole world changed during COVID with how we meet, right? Like, I think people used to fly a lot. Maybe they're flying again. Used to do face-to-face meetings, used to have, like FaceTime meetings or the equivalent. But now Zoom, right, and other platforms like this have become an invaluable way for us to meet. And I know there's a whole generation of people younger than we are that are just happy to stay in this platform, which means that we have to learn how to maximize it. One of the things that I learned early on is that any meeting you set up and that you don't actually inform and create excitement about, you're going to have poor attendance. And so I think it's really, really important for you to actually look at all the meetings you want to have and discern, do you have enough time to get people to those meetings? Like, how many meetings do you like to have in a month in a particular area of your life?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Are you asking me? Okay.
I'm asking you.
Sorry. So it's not rhetorical.
Yeah.
So I always have at least 1 to 2 partner meetings.
Okay.
So people I'm partnering with, right? And then we like to do a couple educational meetings. But so your point of everyone being on Zoom for so much is that people aren't showing up for Zooms. They're really getting pretty exhausted on being on this platform. And so you have to get creative. That's what we're finding. And we're finding, right, both of us, that if we can't get the word out and we can't get people to commit to meeting, sometimes it's really not worth holding that meeting.
Right.
So how are we getting the word out, right? A lot of times it takes picking up the phone.
Yeah.
And it really does.
And I like to think, I want you to think about long time ago when we had snow days, before we had automated telephone services. Mm-hmm. Everybody had a job. And because they were motivated to stay home, right? Like, everybody wanted to either be the kid that got to stay home or the parent that had the kid that got to stay home. You didn't want to be that parent that forgot to tell your kid there was a snow day, right? That would not rank high on your Mother's Day card, right? Like, your cred would go right down. So I think there are people in your business who are really, really good at, like, alerts, right? Getting the word out. And so I think knowing that that's your job, right? That you have 5, 10, 15, 20 people to alert about this meeting, and then creating those key people, that also maximizes your time, because you're not saying, I want a meeting with 50 people, right? Let's say you're teaching a class and you want a big class. Maybe it's 50, maybe it's 100. And what you decide to do is, I'm going to go invite all those people myself. That's probably not realistic. And it probably also is not effective. But if you were to divide and conquer, right? And then each individual person who's coming to the meeting has 10 people or 5 people, however you want to divide it. And they know that's their group. It's manageable. Mm-hmm. And then you get the larger turnout. But that takes some coordination. And so setting up all that ahead of time, I think, can be really, really, really helpful.
And so, we were just doing something like this in a networking group that I belong to. And so we're having an event in June, and it's poolside and it's a panel discussion. It's going to be super fun. And so they wanted to break down the email list and have everyone take 5 to 7 people.
Okay.
And so someone said, I'm going to assign you 5 to 7 people. And I said, no, let's not do that. Let's pick the people who we have the most connection to or the
Right.
most influence with.
Right.
Because if something comes from me to a person who, if I send something to a person I don't know, inviting them to something, they're gonna be like, first of all, who's Denise? And why would
Right.
I want to go? Right. And so it's so crucial. I mean, it's not just the invite, and it's not just because I love the phone chain, right? Like I love that idea, and I loved snow days. Whether it was for me or my kids, I loved having them home, but we all knew who we had to call.
Right.
And when those people saw our number, they actually picked up because
Yeah.
they knew why we were calling, right? Like, so you have to have, I think you have to connect with the right person. That's how turnout is going to be so much more dynamic.
Definitely. I'm trying to think, what else do I do to ensure that a meeting happens effectively? Sometimes I actually preview it and I ask people like what times work for them. Like if I can do that ahead of time with my business partners, like sometimes that's the beginning of the year planning, right? Like we're going to have a meeting. Is it a Monday night meeting? Is it a Thursday afternoon meeting? And then everybody knows in advance to put that in their calendar. I find those are very effective. I have some of those in my personal life too. They're usually once a month. I love a once a month meeting. I don't miss a once a month meeting. I guess because I feel like it's 12 times a year. And if I can't dedicate myself to 12 times a year to something, then maybe that thing needs to be taken away from what I do. Does that make sense? Like if I'm not
Yeah.
showing up at something, then I think the same thing occurs with the group I'm trying to cull together. So if I can't get people to come to a meeting once a month, and not through lack of communication, but just because they're not all that into it, I may find new people because that's not my group. And that goes back to a different presentation that we did about, finding your market and finding your ideal client, right? So I would say that falls into the ideal client category, right? You want people that show up willingly, happily, joyfully.
Yeah, because they want to be there and they want to hear the information. And I think also we have to look at sometimes what we're competing with. That's a very real thing. I'm not going to hold a meeting for customers when I know customers are all going to be involved in something else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold a meeting for my team leaders and my business partners when I know they're all going to be on something else. It does not make sense. I don't want them to have to choose one or the other. And I'm really conscious of the information that I include in what I'm sending out to them. I want them to know what we're going to be talking about. I want to generate excitement. I want them to bring their questions ahead of time. So, or get out their oils if it's a customer meeting like that. I want people to feel like, oh yeah, that one's for me.
Right.
I need to be there. So I think it's important. Listen, I've done plenty of meetings for 2 or 3 people, and I'm happy to do it. But I think the more people there, the more dynamic the conversation.
Oh, definitely. And it depends on the purpose of the meeting. Some meetings the intention is to be small. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about meetings where you really are trying to draw a larger group of people. How do you do that effectively? So that's something you may want to, some takeaways that you may want to do, take away the meetings that you don't have time to plan, take away the meetings that are too multiple in a month, right? Maybe it's only one really good meeting can be better than 4 where no one shows up, or the people that are supposed to be together show up in 4 different times. I don't think that's helpful. So think about taking away some meetings that aren't maximized. And then the last thing that we want to take away is to take away those mundane tasks, right? And this one's hard for me, that someone else could do, maybe even better, right? And you can then get freed up to do other things. So share with me just an example of how you employ this in your business right now.
So this is working great for me, actually. I've always known what a virtual assistant is, right? You can also call them a VA. They do necessary tasks, right? They do parts of our business that seem menial and time consuming, like sending out emails, but we all know that's really important. But it's time consuming for us as business owners,
Right.
right? But they're essential to our business for our communication. So we need to do it. So what other tasks? So virtual assistants can do many things for you in many different ways. So they're usually, what are they? They're usually self-employed, right? And they provide professional administrative support for you and your business. So maybe you need technical assistant. Maybe that looks like data entry or transcribing. Carrie and I have been talking a lot about transcribing, right? Or maybe they do copywriting and you want them to write your emails.
Right.
Maybe they do amazing posts for Facebook and Instagram, all your social media, right? And if you want to grow your social media and you want to have someone manage it, maybe this virtual assistant is the right person. They can create and manage your posts, the content. They can also be really integral in your groups. Maybe they approve people into your group. Maybe they've even set the questions that people have to fill out to get into your group. But they can do so many other things. They can answer questions. They can ask questions. They can create engagement. They can follow a person from coming into your group to welcoming them, to making them feel really, really welcome. There's so many things. They definitely can do emails. Email marketing is so important right now. They can totally do that. What if you need someone to make phone calls for you or set your appointments or any other activities or events that you're involved in? What if you need someone for your calendar, right? So someone who can watch your calendar, who can actually like send you the night before, you have this at this time, this at this time, and this is, holy cow, really? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, because you're not going to miss anything and no one wants to miss anything and things fall through the cracks. What if it's 3 or 4 people that you've got on a calendar? There are so many good apps they can use. Right now, I chose to use a VA for my CRM that I'm using. And, I sat down with her. I picked her. I had interviewed with 2 young women. I picked this woman because she just resonated with me. I could see the spark. I loved it. I could tell that she was really good at communicating, and I wasn't wrong. She's awesome. And so will you work with them? Because they don't know what they're doing initially. They don't know who you are. They don't know your values and who you're looking for. And so you work with them, you spend time with them. We spent a couple of weeks. We went over things. She understood in terms of prospecting who I was looking for and who I was clearly not. And she's super good at it. And she's great at follow-up. Now, guess where I come in? I come in once someone says, hey, I want to talk more about this. Right? I don't need to do those other tasks.
Right.
She's doing a great job. I follow it, but I don't need to be in it doing it. I come in when I really want to talk to someone and really see what they're about and see if we're a fit. And then I can, work with that person. But it has it has opened up so much more time for me. And it has also opened up many more opportunities. So I think a virtual assistant is, for most people, a really good choice. But listen, you have to know before, what services do you really want them to provide? Like, what do you need in your business that you don't really need to do? Is it designing flyers or ads? They can go into Canva. Most virtual assistants understand Canva. It's a great system to be creative when you're not like a creative artist,
designer,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're not a designer, right? So, but they give you the templates and it looks professional and you can customize it. It's your brand. And so they begin to help you develop or to distinguish yourself from other people, right? With colors and graphics and all of that. So you have to decide what it is you want for them to do before you even hire someone, and ask them, what are your specialties? Maybe they're aligned with a certain company that does a calendar that is for multiple people. And if you have team leaders, this is a great way for everyone to stay on the same page. I mean, they can do a lot. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, know how much you want to pay.
Oh, that's for, yeah. So how do you, well, gosh, I think we have to save this for another show because we're actually running out of time. So maybe
Okay.
that's a cliffhanger today. And we'll figure that out. Like, how do you take things away to know like where you should be really investing your money in your business, right? What smart money looks like. I love that topic. Yeah. So I love that you said your VA takes care of your CRM. I mean, eventually I'll learn to talk in the alphabet, but it's all about customer relationships. That's the thing that I'm getting out of this. And management is really, really key. And the fact that we live in a virtual world is always going to be overarching on everything we do moving into the modern age. And we need assistance, right? We can't do this alone productively without getting the dreaded disease of busyness, and which we're trying to help you get rid of. So I think you do all of these things really, really well. I don't even know if I can ask you this question today, but which one of those takeaways are you going to do
Oh my gosh.
or do more of? Because I know you already actually do most of these, right?
So I want to say it's going to be maximizing meetings. I
All
am
right.
because I am. That's what I'm going to say because it's really important. We just had that beautiful meeting, and I would have loved to have double the attendance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
And it's
beautiful
funny
meeting.
afterwards when people find out about things, they have that like FOMO. Is that what they call it?
They
Right.
call
They're
it.
like, darn, I missed out on that. How did that happen? I think, oh, I didn't maximize my meeting because I didn't maximize the message. So I think I'm going to pick that one too, even though I know I probably need a CRM, but I don't have a VA. So maybe I can just go to focusing on that one small piece and see if, that, what do they call that? I love that book. Small
Oh
steps. It's not small.
no, it's
No.
oh, it's over here.
Um,
It's
the slight edge, the
that's
slight
it.
edge,
That's
the
it.
slight edge. All right.
By
So go
Jeff
get that book.
Olson. By
If
Jeff Olson.
Jeff Olson. So if you don't have the book, it's really awesome. I've been slight edging a lot of different things in my life, and I'm going to slight edge this takeaway as well.
Well, I would slight edge it with that. So I know we're running out of time, but listen, if you can look at a CRM, you can personally manage a CRM,
Right.
but you niche it down. It's only for
Okay.
prospects.
All right. I think I'm less scared now. So thank you, Denise. I'm gonna tackle this. Maybe we can circle back and I can share with everybody, like whether I was able to get over my fear of delegation. It's
And
really
you
what
can
it's
do
all
it.
about. All right, Denise, thanks so much. Thank you everybody for joining us on What's the Takeaway. We'll see you